Pickup Lines is presented by Gamez Law Firm. Personal injury guidance for more than 50 years. Gamez Law fights. By Integrity Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated for more than 40 years, serving the San Antonio area for roofing, siding, and renovation needs. And by the Sabinal Group. For nearly 20 years, serving the San Antonio region through professional minority general contracting services. Pickup Lines is broadcast from inside the all-electric Lexus RZ450e, courtesy of North Park Lexus at Dominion and North Park Lexus of San Antonio. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back once again. Thrilled to have you along here for another episode of Pickup Lines, the talk show in a car. And if you know of another one, please let me know, because I don't know. I love doing this in this car, and thank you, North Park Lexus, for this beautiful vehicle. But speaking of beauty, we have royalty among us here today. Look at that crown, by the way.
Thank you.
This is Queen or La Reina Linda XI, Erica LaHood.
Yes, thanks for having me.
It's a mouthful, but
it is.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
You look fantastic, by the way, can I say?
Thank you.
And it's the pre-fiesta crown when you don't have the missing jewels and
Not yet.
dents and you know, chicken on a stick, crumbs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But and the sashes, everything's on point and all that. We're gonna get to a big event you are hosting tomorrow here in just a little bit, but we need to kind of unpack everything that led up to La Reina Linda. I should mention, first of all, you were in Austin yesterday.
I was in Austin yesterday. We had a big day for the family.
Your hubby,
my hubby,
or shall I say, state representative?
Yeah, you know, that's funny. Now I don't know how to really introduce it. Hi, this is my husband, Representative Marc LaHood. That's weird, you know.
Right.
Mark's like, no, just say I'm Mark. I'm like, but that's not your title. Yes, my husband, Marc LaHood, officially swore in yesterday as state representative for House District 120.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
That's a huge deal, and I know that means a lot of back and forth to Austin, I would imagine.
For him, yes.
For him especially, but that's got to be cool to be there, and you were there for the swearing in and everything, and
all the kids in tow. My son calls him a state ref. I don't think
no, he's not a referee.
I don't think he knows he's the state.
He might have to delegate some fights and some roles and you tackle some issues and everything, but not a referee.
State ref. Yeah.
Pretty cool. So, but you know, you're pretty impressive in your own right, and so we got to go backwards.
Okay.
Go backwards. Once upon a time, I grew up in Victoria, but you grew up in Corpus Christi.
I didn't know that about you.
I grew up in Victoria.
Awesome. Yes, I'm from Corpus Christi. Actually, I grew up later in life. In my middle school days, we moved out to Chapman Ranch.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up, finished growing up out there, and went to Tolosa Midway and graduated from Tolosa.
Okay, and I read this. You graduated from high school at age 16.
I did.
Which seems extra young to me.
Extra young. I went freshman, sophomore into my senior year. I jumped my junior year.
Because you're extremely intelligent?
I'll say that. Yeah, sure. I'll own it. Yes, I'm super smart.
Well, what was that like when you're, 14, 15, and they come up to you and they're like, Erica, how would you feel about skipping your junior year?
Yeah, that's actually how it happened. Going into my junior year, I'm sorry, I learned that I only needed 5 credits to graduate. So not only did I get to graduate a year early, I also was out early for work program because I don't know how I did it all right, and took all the classes I needed. So I still got an early day dismissal, and I got the early graduate scholarship, which was great.
Oh,
you know, it was like another $1,000 a year or something that greatly helped me. And so yeah, I think given the opportunity, it was amazing.
So you were impacted by scholarships at a very young age, which ties into what you're doing right now.
Right.
So kind of a full circle
deal, which is why I felt so called to do it when the foundation asked me to be Reina. How do you say no to something that has helped you in life? And kids need it. I mean, families need it, not just kids, families need it, especially right now with everything. So,
well, and you know, some people may know I'm coming off having been on the court for last year's Ray Feo 75. So, it's all still fresh in my memory, and we gave out scholarships in, was it August and September of 24. And so, that's the payoff. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's fantastic stuff. How early, at what age did you know kind of what you wanted to do in life, career-wise, being a mother? Like, when did all that come around?
You know, career-wise, I never knew. So I am oil filled.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I do when I'm not wearing my crown. I'm in a hard
You have,
hat.
well, you have your other
I do have my
headgear here.
my other headgear. Yes, I'm in a hard hat like this. Look at this thing. It's so funny. It's steel toes in a hard hat, and then I go from into a crown and heels, which is kind of funny. But so completely different. I never knew I wanted to be oil filled, and it was never even a thought or dream in my mind.
Okay.
I was business administration is my degree, and I was sitting for my. Well, I was working in an accountant's office,
Right.
and he was trying to get me to sit for my CPA. And so I went through my first tax season, and I was like,
She made that face.
yes, I did.
Totally.
Sorry to any accountants out there. I love you. I appreciate you.
It is tax season right now,
Yes,
so.
you do me wonders every year, and I appreciate you. And I love my CPA. So thank you for that. But it was just not for me.
Got it.
You know, sitting in an office, long hours until, midnight, 1:00 in the morning to maximize sum and return.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't my payoff.
So when you say you went into oil field, I like I'm trying to visualize, like, physically, what does that mean? Do you sit in an office all day long? Are you out at a rig? Or like, what does that mean in laywomen's terms?
I'm not in an office, which is great. I try to hit the field 2 to 3 days a week, and I go out to the rigs, and I just do service calls. I go out there, check on my guys, make sure everybody's doing good, talk to the company man. I am not in makeup. I don't wear any makeup. You
don't show up like this.
No, I do not. In fact, the ones it's so funny because when they find out, they talk, and so they'll tell me, "Oh, my queen." When I walk in, I'm like, "Okay, who told you what?"
Yeah.
So it's kind of a joke because I come in. I usually wear like my glasses, not my contacts, and I have zero makeup on, and I'm in steel toes and my FR, and just not what you see here today.
I think next time you go out to the rig, you should show up like this.
I can't.
Like, just mix it up. Well, like it's what OSHA or somebody will get upset if you show up without the proper. You got to have the legit
PPE.
Personal protective equipment. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get you in trouble then.
No, yeah,
so you do you. You do
Yes.
you. What is it about that work, that field, if you will, that you enjoy so much?
I think the challenge, when I first started back in 2010, I was new to the field. And
Yeah.
I was selling frac sand at the time, and I was super young. And I remember my first sales call, and it was a man, and he just told me, "Listen here, sweetheart, you may be pretty and you may be cute, but you don't belong here."
Oh.
And it was like double down, double whammy. I'm going to be here for good. So.
And the rest is history.
Yes.
And you thoroughly enjoy it and everything.
I do. Yes.
So does this take you all over the state, or is you kind of stay in this part of the...
It did. I did a lot of work out in West Texas for a lot
Yeah.
of years. I've done work in Louisiana. I've done work in Pennsylvania, Oklahoma, Colorado, New Mexico. So a lot of work everywhere, honestly. But now I've kind of just honed in. Now that I'm more family oriented
Right.
and have a million kids, it's easier for me to stay South Texas. So I kind of just, broke away in different areas.
You're on your way to 1 million, right? You have 4, correct?
I have 4.
All right. So...
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I don't think I'll make 1 million.
No, that's okay. That's okay. But I was going to say, I drove to Lubbock on Monday to take my daughter back to Texas Tech, and I just see all the wide open spaces and oil rigs and wind turbines and everything. And I imagine maybe you've spent some time out there.
I have spent lots of time out there. Yeah.
Okay, so we mentioned the kiddos and everything.
Mm-hmm.
How do you juggle that being a mom? And I mean, your kids are young still.
My kids are young, extremely young. My youngest is 3. And my oldest is 17. She's in her senior year in her last semester of high school at Antonian. And how do I juggle it? Gosh, I am very orderly, and I run a tight ship.
Yes.
And everything is on a schedule. New moms, listen up. Do the schedule. I know that it's like hard to veer away, but you just got to be that mom that just says, you know what, it's nap time every day at this hour, and you just stick to it. And I put the kids to bed by 7:30 the latest, because I need my time. Listen.
What about your teenager, though? Is she on her own?
She's kind of on her own deal.
Okay,
She's very good.
okay.
She's not problematic. She, kind of sticks to herself. She knows what she wants to do. She knows what she wants to be. She helps with the kids.
Okay.
She does. She's a great help with the
That's
littles. Good. And so now she says she doesn't want any kids because it's a great form of birth control sometimes. But nonetheless, she's a great help, and she's super easy. So
is your mother parenting style kind of mirrored what you grew up with, or do you see similarities now when you look back? Oh, my mother used to do this, or my dad this, or whatever.
I think it's a combination of my mom, but more so maybe my grandmother. My grandmother had 6 kids. My mom just had us 3, and my older brother was quite a years older than me, 6 years older than me. So it just ended up being Ryan and I there at the house. But my grandmother had 6 kids.
Right.
And I felt like every time we were there, it was like breakfast at this time, lunch at this time, dinner at this time, you wash up at this time, we do dishes at this time, everybody's in bed by this time.
Done.
Done.
No, you wouldn't. I remember similarly with my grandparents. You never questioned or you didn't talk back.
Mm-mm.
There was no, this was not a choice. This wasn't like an option. This was.
Yeah, you just did it. Yeah. It's so funny with Mark being gone too.
Yes.
He obviously is more of the pushover than I am, and he's always
Yes, he is. Don't say that with the state representatives. His colleagues might see this. And wait a minute.
We're also talking about his baby girls here, and
I've got 2 daughters myself. Yeah, I get it.
They have him wrapped, and so now that he's gone, I'm like, Daddy's not here to save you.
Oh my gosh. As a politician, though, can he turn that off and on? Like, does he ever use his political skills when he's trying to negotiate a family issue with you at home? Or
I would not say that
diplomatic about it?
I would not say that he uses his political skills. I will say, though, my son used his political skills yesterday while we were at the Capitol, and they were fighting over a notebook or something to draw in the kids. And I said, well, you've had 5 minutes, and so now your sister gets 5 minutes. And he said, did you tell her that and let her know that?
Oh my God.
And I was like, you know what, son? You're right. I will go start the timer.
Yeah.
Because so it's the kids that get to do it.
I get it. All right. Visiting here with Erica LaHood, mother, wife.
Mm-hmm.
So on paper, your job title is what?
On paper, I'm an entrepreneur, and I also do sales and consulting for other companies.
So her business card is like this big.
Yes.
It's a lot of stuff. And Reina Linda 11. So your Roman numerals out there, XI.
XI.
Of course, coming off of I served with Reina Linda X, Stephanie Garcia, who is just fantastic people.
Let's talk about Stephanie.
I was with her last night, as a matter of fact.
She started the cocktail challenge.
She did, which is, let's go, we'll dive right into. So the good news is we have this beautiful cup with your crest on it, which this is not going to do it justice, but I'll let people see. I love, this is smart. You put a QR code on the back of this thing.
Well, heck yeah.
Very smart. And womp womp.
No beverage today.
Because we don't want to get anybody in trouble and everything. But if you could imagine, tomorrow night at, was it 7 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock it starts at Aggie Park.
Aggie Park.
Many of these cups will be filled with cocktails, but the idea is you have a
10,
handful of...
I think it's 10 local restaurants and bars that are going to be serving up their best cocktail. And then we will judge. I will be a judge. Stephanie will be a judge. Stephanie Garcia will be a judge. And there's 2 other surprise judges that are going to be there. And we are going to be judging. And then there's a People's Choice Award too. So everybody gets to judge.
Right. And the cocktails are works of art. I mean, the presentation is fantastic, and there's food and entertainment and other things. And yeah, we had it at Aggie Park last year, and it's just a fantastic scene and everything. But I remember those cocktails. I did not envy the judges who had to pick the winners and everything.
I know.
Because they're all amazing.
Yes.
But you are ultimately raising money. And tickets are still available, by the way. You can go to Erica's website, Reina Linda XI, so the number 11, ReinaLindaXI.com for ticket information. And you'll have other events as well. But this is the second annual Queen's Cocktail Challenge tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. There's, like you said, music and food and dancing. And I think there's political dancers that are going to come in.
Yes.
And it's all to get hype about the spirit of Fiesta that's coming, but it's all for a good cause, right?
Yes.
To raise money for scholarships for San Antonio and for our community, the youth community, to educate them on furthering their education and make that money available for them to go to school.
It's fantastic calling and great that you're doing it. And you have been a fantastic ambassador so far. And I can't wait to see. I mean, Fiesta, I can't believe we're already mid-January and it'll be here before you know it. When you like to indulge with a cocktail to unwind or whatever, do you have a drink of choice?
Yes. And I don't know if it's a cocktail. I need to find out. But it's just Tito's, water, and lime.
Simple. Done.
Simple. And it's
nothing wrong with that.
No. And it's low calorie and is great. And so, yeah.
I'm always fascinated by the crown. I mean, the sash and everything and the crest, the creative process, I don't think people can fully appreciate.
Yeah.
Typically the crests and the crowns have these little Easter eggs or little hidden things that are meaningful to you personally. Do you have anything you want to point out on your crest or your crown?
I do. On my crest and on my crown is the Sacred Heart. And
Beautiful.
My family's Catholic, grew up Catholic, and we have a devotion to the Sacred Heart. We always have. And that kind of ties into what we're doing here, right? Is to just open your heart to a calling, and to love people as you want to be loved. And so that's why I did the Sacred Heart. And then I do have on the top here and in the back of my crown is the shield of Saint Michael. Saint Michael is our patron saint.
Is it right here?
Yes.
This is it. It's not, you can see. Oh, you can see it on the cup, but
yes.
this is the shield right here in the center.
Our shield.
Very cool.
Saint Michael is the saint of protection.
Yes.
And also, my husband's brother that was murdered was Michael.
Right.
And so I put the wings behind around the shield to just symbolize Michael and that he will be with me during this fiesta season. And if anybody knew Marc LaHood, they knew he was a great big guy and always, down to fight if he needed to. And so I always say, Mike's going to be with me and he's going to take care of me and protect me.
Quite literally. I just cannot get enough of this crown. And look, it's beautiful and everything.
Thank you.
Do you, how much do you participate in fiesta in a non-court year, non-royalty year? And what are some of your favorite events?
Over the last couple of years, because I had kids back to back to back, I really wasn't into the fiesta spirit as much as I would like to. And we used to actually host a fiesta event that was probably our biggest deal at Mark's office.
Right.
But, I just love the spirit of fiesta in general. And so I'm hopeful to go to all the events this year.
Your will. I mean, I tell people that's like speed dating, right? You get in, they hand you a drink, you shake hands, you get to give a couple of medals, and then before you know it, your prime minister is like, let's go or whatever, and you're off to the next thing.
Yeah.
So it's great in that you're going to see, I think we did like 85 stops during fiesta.
Oh, wow.
But what kind of sucks sometimes is you're having a good time at a place and then they got to yank you out of there and you're taking pictures and you're commiserating with everybody,
shaking hands
and medals and everything and selfie here and all that. You're going to love it though.
Right.
It's fiesta experienced unlike any other. I mean, it's a cool way to experience fiesta.
That's what I'm not most excited,
but it's a great payoff. What about school visits? I mean, that's coming up
School visits, too. Yeah, we're starting at the end of the month, and we're hopeful to see 76 schools this year.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about that. Stephanie talked a lot about how much joy it brought her to see the kids and to hug on them and to squeeze on them and how much they just oohed and awed over her and her crown and, the sparkle and all of that. And so I am so excited for that. And I think it'll bring me great joy.
I don't think King John McFadden would mind me saying this. I mean, the kings get a lot of attention, rightfully so, but it's the queens. I'm just warning you right now, where the kids, especially the girls, will come and they'll tackle you and they will not let go.
I've already seen it. And I think that's one of the best things is, you find you're getting a crown and it's like, okay, I'm getting a crown. You don't really think about it, but to see the little girls when they see me in public, they're like hiding behind their moms and pointing at me and they want to come say hi and they don't really know who I am or what. And then you get down to their level and their eyes just get so big and they're like, oh, a queen is talking to me. So I can only imagine the impression that makes on them.
It's really cool. So getting back to graduating high school early, she graduated at 16, by the way, if you're just joining us and everything. Were you one of those students that it just came naturally and it was all in here? Or did you like really, really study hard and apply yourself all the time?
Sadly, I did not study.
See?
I did not study. No.
You were one of the lucky ones.
I didn't. I maybe if I did, I would have probably graduated top of my class at 16, but I just didn't. I was also very active, though. I was riding horses.
I was saying equestrian, right?
Yes,
you were a student athlete.
I was showing every weekend, with my horse, and so that took a lot. And so you ride in the evening. So I'd come home, my dad would flip the lights on. First, it'd be like, oh, it's too late. Then he'd put lights out in the arena. So could never outsmart the system. And I also played soccer too. I was captain of my team. So I just did a lot and stayed busy and didn't have time to study. Didn't need to.
You need to.
Didn't need to.
It all worked out.
Yes.
How do you, I'm just hearing you do all of these things. Husband is a state representative, mom, 4 kids, the oil field work, Reina Linda. How on earth do you juggle all of these things?
I just do. You just do. You know, it's funny because like everybody asks me, why would you sign up? You can do anything for a certain amount of period, right?
Yeah.
You can do a plank for 60 seconds.
You could do it better than me, probably, but yes.
I
Okay.
mean, okay, you get to 30,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, you get
could,
3 and you're like, okay, 30 more seconds, right?
Okay.
So now it's like, okay, April's in sight. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm almost done. I take it off my plate and then you move on to the next one. But some days you're going minute by minute, hour by hour.
Oh yeah.
You know, you just do as you can. I try to plan in advance as much as I can and just stack the calendar accordingly.
That's a smart way to go, because as soon as the calendar turns to January, especially for Fiesta royalty, it's on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's virtually nonstop until, in your case, Fiesta runs through May this year. So
That's true. Yes, it does.
like May 4th, I believe, or something like that. But do you have, I mean, kind of, we touched on it a little bit, but do you have one thing in particular that you're really looking forward to seeing or doing in this role?
I think it's just spending time with the kids.
Yeah.
And you never know what the kids are going through at home, right?
That's so true.
Especially nowadays. And to be able to take whatever pain or whatever that they're thinking
Yes.
or going through, their suffering or mistreatment or whatever it is that kids go through nowadays, to take that away and just give them 20 minutes that you're with them where they're not thinking about that and they're jumping around and they're smiling and all the pain is taken away and they're so, so, so happy. I think that will fill my heart.
Screaming at the top of their lungs and everything. And I do remember a couple of kids, especially girls, when we were there last year, they're crying, like visibly crying. And they're this close to you and they just can't believe that they're in the presence of royalty and everything.
Right.
So you'll see.
That's what I'm most excited.
I don't want to steal her thunder, but I'm so happy for you. I'm excited.
Thank
Having
you.
experienced that myself. That's super cool. So was it this that brought you to San Antonio?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the oil field that brought me to
Because you could have stayed in the Corpus area and dominated over there and done your thing.
Yeah, I just, Corpus was anti-growth and I love Corpus to death, but they were just not moving at any high pace for the city. And I knew that I wanted to be bigger than Corpus and do more things. And I had started here at St. Mary's in San Antonio.
Yeah.
I went back and finished in Corpus, but I always knew that I wanted to land back in San Antonio.
Okay.
So when it came that time, I just decided, you know what, let's just move to, I had my oldest daughter at the time. It was her and I think she was 4 at the time and kind of needed a break and to start over. And, sometimes you just got to just cut and go.
Yeah.
So we did.
Yeah. And it worked out for you.
We did.
What else? I mean, I guess the sky's the limit for you, but what are some other things that, and you're still so young, obviously, but what are some things that you would like to do, especially once the Fiesta thing is over, career goals, family goals? I mean, is Mark going to run for higher office or, I mean, what other things do you guys want to do?
I don't know. And, people ask Mark all the time. And I think his common answer, has just been, I haven't even made it to the House yet. So let me get there and make a difference and do the things that I ran on and hopefully be successful. And if there's a higher calling, there's a higher calling. And, I'm just here to be his partner and his backbone and take care of the kids and, hopefully be able to use our name and our position to continue to give back to the community. I think that's important. And if we have the opportunity to do some good, why not?
You deserve a lot of credit for holding it down, if you will, here at the House and everything. Because, I mean, obviously, him being in Austin a lot, I mean, it's just, it falls on you to keep it together and make it happen and everything and still support him and everything. So you deserve a lot of credit for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. He's just as supportive, just sometimes not here physically. But...
Well, darn Capitol's in Austin. Not in San Antonio. That's the problem.
I forgive him. And he's only there 6 months every other year. So...
Okay.
So it's not terrible.
So how long is his term then?
It's a 2-year seat.
It's a 2-year term.
Yeah. Okay. So we're running every other year.
That's the thing about that. 2-year terms.
I know.
That's what I say about city council here in town too. You win and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're running for re-election.
And I think that's the worst part of politics is campaigning.
Yeah, I mean, again, last thing I ran for was student council president, and that was a whole different animal. Would you ever consider running for public office?
I don't think that that's out of the picture. I have been asked that before.
Yes.
I have been asked that before. And some of his staff kind of joke and they say, she's a real politician. And Mark will say it too. I don't know. Maybe, yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
If I can make a difference,
She's Governor LaHood. When I'm going to save this recording here,
funny.
I'm going to say, or whatever, Senator, Representative,
Never know, yeah.
President LaHood.
Maybe if Mark moves up, I'll take his seat.
Good day.
You know?
It's not inconceivable.
Right.
You never know. You
Could
never
happen.
know. Okay. Don't forget about me when you guys are.
I won't.
One more time, let's remind everybody, Reina Linda XI. So the Roman numeral for 11 is XI. So ReinaLindaXI.com. The Queen's Cocktail Challenge tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock at Aggie Park. Get your tickets. It is a lot of fun. Again, I was there last year. Great cocktails, food, entertainment, great atmosphere. A lot of fun fiesta people who are itching to get medals. And do you have your medals yet, by the way?
I do.
Are you prepared to? Oh, I wasn't expecting this.
Hi.
Hold on. Let me get situated here. Hold on. May I?
Yes, that's for you.
Is
that your first official fiesta
It
medal?
is.
Yay!
This is literally my first.
Yay!
Oh, now I'm getting all the feels here, Erica. Look at this thing. That's
Yay.
a beauty.
Thank you. That is my public medal.
I know, because you're going to have multiple medals and different.
Yes.
And then the camera, again, is not going to do it justice, but that is very pretty, and I will wear this with pride.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Super cool for you. So, are you handing these out now, like actively? Because a lot of people are going to come find you now.
They will start finding me. Yes, I have. I think that's my second medal to give out.
Oh my gosh.
So, I will start bringing them
beautiful.
out. They will be at Aggie Park tomorrow.
Okay.
If you're looking for there's medal fanatics. I know.
Oh, they're out there. Yes.
Yes.
I know a lot of them.
Right.
They'll be out there tomorrow. So again, one more time, Queen's Cocktail Challenge tomorrow, Aggie Park, 6 o'clock, ReinaLindaXI.com for more information. Go hungry and thirsty because you're going to have a lot of fun and ultimately raise money for scholarships. And so it's cool how, go ahead.
If you do find yourself that you've had too much to drink.
Thank you for bringing this up. Yes.
Yes. We have a responsible way to get home, and that is by having a Uber sponsor, which is Dest, the little cars that are downtown.
Yes, okay.
They have paid for Uber sponsors for anybody that's had too much to drink. They will pay for your ride home from Aggie Park, and you can come and pick up your car the next day or whenever, or send somebody else for it. But do not drink and drive, guys. DWIs are expensive, and if you think you're waiting for an Uber is too long to wait, try waiting at the magistrate office for 18 hours to be released. It's just not fun. I've never had a DWI, but my husband does represent DWIs. That's not a plug for him because I am saying we do not need him. We are going to be using Uber with our Uber sponsor from Dest. So
thank you. Lord knows I talked enough about DWIs when I did the news and everything, the morning news. So we don't need any more of that. But good on you, by the way, for doing that and making that available. So there's literally no excuse not to get home in one piece and not violate any laws. So so happy for you and your family. You have a lot to celebrate right now.
Thank you. Yes.
It's good to be a LaHood right now.
It is good to be a LaHood.
Sounds like a political slogan. His
dad's slogan used to be "Do something good, vote for LaHood."
Oh, nice.
Yes. So
I like it. Well, listen, all the best to you. We'll be rooting for you and the Radio 76 crew the entire way. Can't wait to see all the great things you're going to do. And I would invite everybody to come on board as a sponsor or a supporter at any level and help out. And ultimately, we're the money's staying here to help young people in our area further their education, and we can all get behind that. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All the best to your hubby, State Representative Marc LaHood, and thanks again for the medal.
Awesome.
There she is, La Reina Linda XI, Erica LaHood.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us here on this episode of Pickup Lines. We'll be back again very soon. Viva Fiesta, by the way.
Viva.
Viva. And be safe. Bye for now.